Hello and welcome to Active Learning and Development. We're here today to chat with Chris Brown about his background and thoughts around our Level 7 coaching programme. Hi Chris.
Hello.
So tell us, how did you get into coaching as a career?
Well, it's quite a story. When I left school, I went into insurance and it didn't work. It didn't make me happy at all. And at about the age of 28, I worked in Croydon and I was wandering around Waterstones looking for a book about career development. And I actually found a book called Unlimited Power by a chap by the name of Tony Robbins. And what intrigued me about the book, well, I was really interested in the book because it was all about coaching techniques and things. But at that point, I didn't know really what coaching was. And in the book, he said, I'm going to coach you through this book. And that really intrigued me and it kind of really stayed with me. And I read the book. I've still got the book today. And it was kind of the beginning of me really getting into personal development and self-development. And it kind of sparked that interest in the whole topic. It led me to leaving insurance. And in fact, we moved from the southeast and we moved up here to Gloucestershire. And I changed careers completely. I went to work in leisure and trained to be a fitness instructor. And then I eventually learned to train people to be fitness instructors. And that was kind of my into training. But all the time I had this passion for personal development, self-development. And over time, I then got into leadership and management training and had the opportunity through that to do this particular qualification, the ILM Level 7, back in 2013. And that was where it all changed because it allowed me to bring everything I'd learned together and also then to kind of use it as a career. So from that point, when I was absolutely made up when I passed the Level 7, because as you'll find, it's a challenge. But the wonderful thing was it really started to open doors for me. I went self-employed a year later as a leadership management trainer and coach. And then since then, I've developed my business and I do a lot of coaching now and a lot of training people to be coaches. And that was really the journey. But it all started really of being a little bit lost and finding that book in Waterstones in Croydon that day. But I can patch it all the way back to there. I remember getting off the train that day and reading the book as I walked home up the hill, just completely blown away by this information. And sort of like, wow, where's this been all my life? And that was really what got me started. It really got me into this idea of, coaching isn't just sports or voice coaching or whatever. There is coaching that's more general. And what he did through that book was to coach me into making positive changes in my life. And I thought, wow, I wonder if I could do that. And that was really what led me to becoming a coach and probably, why I'm sat here today with you, actually.
So why are you still doing it? What is it about coaching that you enjoy so much?
I think there's lots of elements to that. At the base of it is seeing somebody get past any challenge, or they have a breakthrough, they have some kind of improvement, they develop in some way, they improve their life in some way, something happens for them in the coaching that improves them and they did it. I think one of the important things with coaching is that they did it. The coach doesn't really do it. And in fact, if you've ever worked with a coach who says they're the guru and they did it run, they didn't do it. What really should happen is the other person does it. The coach provides the space. And I think the challenge for being a coach is to be the coach the other person needs. And I find, together with the sort of the satisfaction of people developing and doing what they need to do, I also find the challenge of every session is different. Every coach is different. I find that challenge really nourishing. And every time I sit down with somebody, it's like, what's going to happen? It's really exciting. And actually neither of us, me nor the coachee, at that point knows where it's going to go. So the lovely thing then is you enjoy this journey together. And I'll do this in the course, but we describe coaching as a collaboration, really. You tend to work together as the coach and coachee on this journey, and they go on this journey together. And the coach, again, is trying to be the coach that the other person needs. And if they can, then it can be very, very helpful.
So in terms of Active Learning's programme, what should a good customer look for in a good programme?
Well, there's a number of elements really that makes a programme effective. I think at the very least, this kind of programme, you need to cover 3 key areas. One of them is going to be the knowledge base behind coaching. What is coaching? How does it work? What are the tools and techniques? Another dimension is the doing it, is that the course offers an opportunity to have a go at coaching, to experience different tools, experience different ways of coaching, and also to actually do it for real and get some feedback on that. And then I think the third dimension is the space to then self-reflect on the coaching that you've done. I think one of the elements or sort of dimension of being a coach is that you're always self-reflecting. You're reflecting in the session, you reflect after the session, you reflect after an assignment. And the sort of the third element then is that you have the opportunity to reflect. You put all those together, and then you've got a well-rounded program. The way we do that, and I think the way an effective program would do that, would have multiple ways of helping anyone learn. So you would have things that are audio, things that are visual, things that are kinesthetic. So you hear it, you see it, you do it, you try new things, you observe things, you reflect. And you get to experiment. All the sort of dimensions of learning that you would know that kind of pull all that together. I think you need to have all those dimensions within a program, and I like to say that we've built that into this program.
Well, taking you straight on to that point then, why are you working with ALD, and what is it about this program that made you want to be part of this process?
Well, I think if I go back to when I first started working with ALD, one thing that struck me right away was just the quality of how you do things, how it's done. Back in the day when we used to go up the motorway to training rooms, I would come here to the office and we would, you give me a box of stuff and it had everything I ever needed. And I always felt very confident that quality was really at the front of everything you did. And so what I'm delighted to be able to do with this program is really carry that through and say, let's build that quality into this particular program. So I think, all the things I just said about making sure you've got lots of different ways of learning, lots of different ways of accessing the material. I know that working with ALD, we'll be able to put that together, and it'll be a case of let's do it to make sure that people coming on the program are successful. And I think that's really exciting, because I know working with you'll want to do that. I mean, in the end, we want to get people through. So we need to give them as many ways as possible to access the information. And I'm really excited about what we're putting together to help people do that.
And what support should they expect from an ALD program? What are we putting together?
Well, lots. As well as sort of a virtual live online actual 4-hour sessions to support the main learning of the program. We're also looking at putting a workbook together. We're going to do videos to support the learning in and out of those live sessions. So there's going to be all those kind of resources. You have audio material, you have visual material. There'll be recommended reading. I'm going to provide articles to support your learning. So one way or another, whether we get you in the live session, whether we get you through your reading, whether we get you through a video, whether we get you through listening to it, hopefully we'll attack all the modes, if you like, so that whoever you are and whatever preferences you have for learning and developing, that we'll be able to plug into you somehow.
And will there be tutorial support in between the main workshops? Is that something we're planning to do?
Absolutely. The program will have a rhythm to it, in the sense that there'll be a couple of live virtual online workshops followed by a one-to-one tutorial support, and that rhythm will flow throughout the program. And I think it's a great way of doing it, because you get a good dose of input, if you like, in terms of knowledge and learning and trying stuff. And then you get a chance to spend some time with the tutor to say, how's it going? And then if there's any adjustment to that needs happening, or any areas that the person on the program is concerned about, they've got a ready-made place to bring that up and bring it forward, and hopefully then keep them ongoing and moving forward through the program.
Okay, this is a level 7 program, an executive program, and these things take time and effort. So let's be realistic with our customers here. How long should they expect this to take?
Well, the program lasts 12 months, and it will take 12 months. Over the course of that 12 months, you're going to have 8 virtual live sessions. And within that, you're going to be writing 3 assignments, doing 20 hours worth of coaching with your real coaching clients. So you would expect to be on the program for the full 12 months. It's a 12-month program, but all the support in between is all provided. And so as you go through that program, it may be a fairly intense time of learning, but you'll come out at the end of it. You'll feel like you'll know coaching by the time you finish the program.
It will take some commitment, yeah?
Absolute determination and commitment. I think if you've decided you want to be a coach, this particular level of course is fantastic, because whether you're doing the coaching within an organisation as an executive or senior level coach, or whether you want to start your own business as a coach, which is what I did, this program will fit that bill. So yeah, absolutely, whichever kind of way you want to take that, this program will help you. So
just taking that on a step further then, what benefits could someone reasonably expect to have a program like this in terms of going forward their career, or what pathways and doors does it open?
Yeah, I suppose it depends why you've come on and what you want to get from it. If you're a senior manager who wants to add coaching to their skill set, then you'll be able to bring everything in that you learn on this program into everything you do in the workplace. And that's certainly what I did early on when I started learning these tools and techniques. When I was working in training, I suddenly realised, all this stuff I've just learned on this coaching program, I can use here. And hopefully you'll be able to integrate that into your work and make you more effective. If you want to start a business as a coach, then everything we're going to give you here will give you all the skills to be able to sit in front of your first coachees with confidence and be able to work with them. So it certainly would do that. From my own experience, it was getting this level 7 qualification that started opening doors for me, and it sort of made me turn the corner in it. And it was what allowed me to go self-employed, really, because people would say, "Oh, you've got a level 7." Now, I'm not saying that would necessarily be the way for everybody, but certainly that was my experience. This particular qualification, because it's robust, because it really does cover all coaching bases, and it will equip you to coach people at all sorts of levels within an organisation. I appreciate it says executive and senior leaders, but the skills are the skills, and you'll be able to work with all sorts of people with it, and that's certainly been my experience.
So that's really useful for individuals. If I was an HR or head of training development manager, and I wanted to put 2 or 3 people through this program, what would I expect to see for my organisation? How would it benefit the larger organisation generally?
Well, on a number of levels. I mean, those 3 particular individuals, for example, would bring those skills back into the organisation and would start using them. And a lot of research has shown, a lot of research done by the CIPD and many others has shown that managers who coach create a better experience, they create better engagement with employees, and so on. So it's certainly, they would notice that. I think if they could take advantage of those 3 people in the sense of perhaps make them coaching champions or, in some way, and that they can spread the word, spread the message within the organisation, then that coaching style could be, sort of spread around and the message, pushed around so that more and more people use that style. A lot of organisations like to try and work to develop a coaching culture. And the lovely thing about coaching culture is it becomes the way an organisation works, the way managers, leaders work with their people and their wider stakeholders. Starting with, training a number of people within your organisation on those skills and making them perhaps champions if that's what they would like to be, then you're starting to build a core of a coaching capability which you can then spread throughout the organisation.
That's great, Chris, and thank you very much for coming in and spending some time with us to talk about it today.
No, Ashley, thank you.
Thanks for taking the time out to watch the video this afternoon on Active Learning's Level 7 coaching provision. And if you're interested in working with Chris and getting that qualification and making a difference in your organisation, get in touch with us at Active Learning. You can call us 01386 42224 or on the mobile, that's 07940 737 845. Alternatively, you can find us on the website www.aldltd.co.uk, and there's a sales@ email address. You can contact us on there, and you can also find us, of course, on LinkedIn, and we look forward to meeting you. Take care.